came home and I changed to pajamas just for this.
Same, I got dressed today, so
I got cat pajamas on.
Oh, I love. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. Nice to meet you. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to all you teen voguers out there. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, and we have tons of questions for you. Everyone's so excited. But I think they really wanted to start off with like, what's the basics of a good skincare routine, especially for like a teenager, and like what ingredients should we be avoiding?
Well, I think that when you're a teenager, it probably depends on where you are in terms of acne, because pretty much almost all of us get a pimple every now and then. So I think if you're just starting out, if you're a younger teenager, do things really basic. Just get used to washing your face. You know, just a nice mod cleanser like Cetaphil even, but also if you wanted something because you're a little oily, maybe use something with a little salicylic acid in it, because that helps to exfoliate and kind of makes your skin look more radiant. As you get more blackheads and whiteheads, or you're noticing pimples, you want to add like an acne regimen, an over-the-counter acne regimen, benzoyl peroxide or sulfur or salicylic acid, retinol too, are all really great. And I think retinol is really great. It helps with acne, but also we as adults, you can use it throughout your life because it helps with fine lines and wrinkles and anti-aging and that sort of thing. So it's a good thing to get used to starting. But I think that the main thing I want to make sure people know is don't need to make it really complicated. Sometimes when you overdo things, especially if you overwash your face, you're going to make things sometimes worse. So, and in the meantime, I think I'm going to make a mocktail. I'm all sitting here in my bar. That's why I'm ready here. So I'm going to make a little mocktail like this, but in a different glass. You see, I even got my little syringe with my strawberry. This is a pimple teeny. So as we're talking, I'll make it, but I'm going to actually, should I tell you what I'm going to do maybe really quick?
That would be great. And you know, if there's any like skin benefits that we can get.
Oh yes. Well, I mean, staying hydrated is good for your skin, I suppose. But, you know, so this doesn't have any alcohol in it. I put simple syrup and like some strawberry. And like some strawberries, and I'm just going to muddle it, which is just a fancy word, just squashing it right into this area. And then I have like a area. And then I have like then once I muddle this, it's pretty simple then. All I have to do is just, I don't make a mess. Shake there. And then I have to always see if I can open it up. Tipsy bartender, who's a social media guy too, he taught me how to, you have to like bang the side. And I use my strainer. And then I pour it into my glass with some ice. And it's really refreshing. It's strawberries and a little lime. And a little bit of strawberry, like kind of puree almost. And then I put my little, I wish you could share this with me, but I'll enjoy it for us, I suppose. And I always have like a little syringe around. This is actually called the blunt needle. It doesn't have a sharp point. And I put a little sprig of mint and strawberry in it. And there's my drink.
So cute. Cheers.
Cheers to you guys. Happy Monday. This is a way to run Monday, I suppose.
Definitely. And I love that you were already talking about retinol, which is a product that I'm almost scared to use because I don't know, I feel like there's like a stigma about it or maybe some misinformation. But I would love to talk about like sunscreen, especially if you're going to use something like retinol.
Right. Okay. So retinol might sound scary to people because they hear all the retinols or retin-A, which are all in the same kind of category. Retin-A, they're called tretinoins. Okay. They're a vitamin A derivative, and retinol is the only non-prescription level. And it is, people are more sun sensitive while they use it. And also it can be irritating a little when you start it. And so that's what scares people off, really. So just know that, you know, you can still go out in the sun when you're using this, but obviously you could sunburn more easily. Okay. It doesn't mean that you have to like hide yourself, and the moment you're on the sun, you could just feel your skin burning off or something like that. So you just want to do it more responsibly. In fact, maybe it helps too, because then you're more aware of the sun and you're going to probably protect yourself more and wear your sunscreen. And if you wear your sunscreen, you should be relatively okay. Just you might have to wear it more, reapply it more often, right? Your sunscreen. In terms of the irritation, It's less irritating to use retinol because
Mhm.
it's a weaker version of the prescription level. So really all of us can adjust to it. You just need to start it slowly, maybe not every day, and then add a moisturizer afterwards to kind of offset the irritation or the slight kind of maybe makes you a little scaly, a little peely.
Mhm.
But really all across the board, people can adjust to that. And you really will thank yourself. Like I'm talking about not next week, more like 6 weeks, 8 weeks later, but also especially like years later. You're going to thank
Okay.
yourself.
That's good to know. And I think one of our questions that we got pretty frequently, especially because it's summer, is what sunscreens would you recommend?
Well, these days with the sunscreens and the issues with like reef dangers and stuff like that, we think about that if we're going into an area that you want to protect the reef, the ocean. So really if you want to stick to physical sunscreens, that's the best. That means titanium dioxide or zinc oxide. Those are physical sunscreens, meaning that when the sun hits you, it bounces off of you. So that's more protective. But I think one of the key things is, and actually I have one here, is to use a powdered sunscreen. Have you ever used one?
I haven't actually, no.
Those are really great because when we wear makeup, like during the day, it's really hard to reapply your sunscreen, right? You don't
Mhm.
want to put it on over your makeup, it messes it up.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem that people have is they don't reapply. So if you put it on in the morning and it's a few hours later, you've rubbed it off, it is worn off, especially
Mhm.
if it's a chemical kind of sunscreen. So if you use a sunscreen powder like this, it
Okay.
actually oftentimes has a tint. You can get it translucent too, and you can put it on over your makeup. I mean, you don't even have
Mhm.
to look in the mirror. And kids tolerate this more. If you
Okay.
got somebody with like a little bald spot here, you could kind of brush them up too. Easy, it doesn't get your hands tacky.
Mhm.
So powdered sunscreens are a great thing to add. And if you're oily, it kind of mattifies your skin. It kind of
Yeah.
absorbs that oil too. So it's like doing a little touch up.
I love a
Really
product
good.